Welcome, folks, one and all, to a game that I will let introduce itself. For not only will it do that, it shall do so in song! Take it away, game!
This is the Guild of Dungeoneering. On a quest we're never fearing. Oh, to be a Dungeoneer, swimming in pools of gold. This is the Guild of Dungeoneering. All the monsters keep appearing. Oh, to be a Dungeoneer, whose stories will be told. What's that sound? I hear a noise. Something's coming, girls and boys. We're up in the hills and far away. We're the Guild of Dungeoneering. Curse and swear, but don't despair. The way out of here must be over there. I think we're lost, but what do we care? We're the Guild of Dungeoneering.
Welcome, folks, one and all, to Let's Play the Guild of Dungeoneering, a game developed by Gambrinus and published by Versus Evil, a game that was released about 6 weeks ago, I think, from the recording of this video. This is a game that I've completed through to completion, and I have decided that I will Let's Play from start to finish. Maybe I won't lose as many Dungeoneers as I did the first time round. Who am I kidding? I'm going to lose all of my Dungeoneers. Guild of Dungeoneering is a PC RPG roguelike with turn-based dungeon development and a turn-based card battle system. That little snippet is a mouthful, and it's the best description that I could think of to describe the game. Without further ado, I'm going to let the game helpfully describe itself by playing a new game. Also, I really like the aesthetic of the game, the appearance as if it's just been drawn with a pencil and paper. On graph paper as well, as you'll find later. Let's start a new game. I'd previously done a little snippet of this, but they just released quite a big patch which adds a few animation improvements and speeds things up a little. So I thought I'd start this introduction again. So, a new game? This save will be overwritten indeed. Let us start. This is the save for my completed game, but we are starting afresh. Let us go to the Guild of Dungeoneering with more song!
This is the Guild of Dungeoneering. All across the land they're cheering, oh, to be a Dungeoneer, chasing fame and glory.
Welcome to the Bard, who's going to catalogue our many successes and probably far more numerous failures. He's going to chip in whenever we succeed at missions, or fail at missions, or generally achieve anything of significance. But here is my journal. The Ivory League of Explorers. The noblest, most virtuous guild in the land. Pfft, those insufferable jerks. I'll show them. They won't think me so grossly incompetent when I have my own guild. I brought a small hall in the bad part of town with the gold I borrowed from them. I've staked out a dungeon that's ripe for the picking. I've even found a chump who can do all the dirty work while I sit back and watch the coins roll in. Like my father always told me, there's always someone stupider than yourself. Well, he never really said that to me. Actually, he said that to everyone but me. Hey, wait a minute! This little map is actually quite informative in many regards. Let us continue. Welcome to your guild. Thank you! We need to hire some Dungeoneers, so let's build a barracks. This Guild of Dungeoneering is one room. It's unnamed guild at the moment, but considering the title of the game, we can imagine what we're going to call it. Almost all actions in the game are done using cards. This here is a barracks card, that when we place down here, in one of the surrounding tiles, can't put it in any of the diagonals because they need to connect in lines at the moment, we'll build a new room. Let's build it up here.
The one that's always left behind, the solitary lump, the pawn who's fodder for the grind, the sorry little chump.
This is the first type of adventurer you can get. The Chump. The Chump is not particularly good, I would say. Well, that's kind of an understatement. The chump in Guild of Dungeoneering is not great at all, but it is the first adventurer that we can in fact get. So, we're going to have to use this adventurer. You can click the name to rename them. And we will rename. You rename her to Ariane, because we're going to use characters from my Let's Plays. And I believe that's how you spell it, if memory serves. Well, we're going with that anyway. Ariane it is! Let's have a look. Yep, I think that's correct. So, let's go. If you press return, it sticks with the name. And now, let us go. Excellent. We have a Dungeoneer. You can expand your guild to gain new Dungeoneers and abilities. Excellent. But first, try going on an adventure. Because we have no money, so we can't expand it. You can click them. Cut it out! I don't think so. Please stop clicking me. You could just basically pester them. And I say them because we will get more than just a chump. Let us go exploring. There is literally only one dungeon at the start. The starter dungeon. Rats? How original! Indeed. Reminds me of Baldur's Gate, when you go fight rats in Candlekeep. So, if we had a different selection of Dungeoneers, we could send them out by selecting them. We only have one. If we had a power-up card, a blessing, we could select that here. We don't have any. Let's enter the dungeon. And now you will see the dungeons themselves. I'll play your first turn, it's easy. Why thank you, computer. There you see it putting down a tile, and another tile, and another tile, and it's put one with a fountain down. Shiny! Combat! Now that is sped up from before. Basically, before this animation at the beginning was a lot slower. Now it's been sped up significantly, and that's there, which wasn't there before. Allow me to explain combat. Ariane is not confident of my success here. Basically, there are various different cards in your deck. The starting deck here is the chump deck, which is the one that has all of the cards for being the chump profession. There are a number of different icons that I'll explain. You start with 3 cards, unless you have power-ups that get you more. This icon, a sort of star shape, gives you a damage of a certain amount. This is 1 physical damage. If it was blue, it would be magical damage. That's important for some people's resistances. This is a block icon. If it was a red icon, it would block physical damage. If it was a blue icon, it would block magical damage. If it's both, half and half, it will block one of either. What the rubber ducky here, the first and only time you actually see this enemy, has, is the headbutt ability from having Irritable 2. Irritable 2 is a trait that you can gain, or monsters typically have Irritable, by collecting items on your hero, and thus gaining those cards that get added into your deck and can be played out. Once you go through your entire deck into the discard pile, they get reshuffled in. Now we have no traits, and Ariane's still not confident, so let us use the Cower ability. There you are. Ow! Those are definitely improved animations. They don't have the little dynamic animations the first time I recorded this, or the first time I played through it. So here, it's a slightly worse card. It's deal 1 damage, have 1 damage taken away through self-damage. We have the eyes closed punch still, which is just 1 damage, but if we use Cower, it will negate that 1 point of physical damage, and he'll deal a point of damage to himself. Let's do it! Aha! Also, they have little sounds as well, I like those. You'll notice as well that we have a lucky hit card, and the stupidity card here, which is just you scratch your head, means that the rubber ducky is going to do nothing. So the fearsome Ariane will deal the killing blow. Kapow! Ooh, and a little cheer too. That's also new. So we have a choice of 3 items because we won. Each of these items will provide a certain stat. The ruffled shirt here will provide Swift 1, which is just that card, for the fancy adventurer. The wooden board provides Armor 1. This almost looks useful, and we'll add that card to our list of items. But the Mighty Twig, or Fear the Mighty Twig, has Bash from Crush 1, which is deal 1 damage, block 1 damage, and for that reason, we're taking the Twig. And we get the gold! And the Fountain debuff. Fountain debuffs are random. The red outlined fountains have debuffs. This one is Decay, which means that basically we will take more damage from blows, which is pretty bad. As you can notice as well, the aesthetic is that this is literally being drawn on graph paper. I like that. It's really charming. So, if you fight monsters of the same or higher level, you'll gain a level. Gaining a level gains you a hit point, and will also give you access to potentially better loot from the monster. Also, that's odd that when I clicked there, it moved it. That's something different. That wasn't doing that before. Anyway, let's give it a go ourselves. We need to defeat 3 monsters. We defeated the fearsome level 0 rubber duck. Let's do that. The cloudy area here means that it's not been explored. You can only move 1 square into an unexplored area, 2 squares into a explored area. Let's put a rat there, and nothing else. You can't actually directly control your Dungeoneer. Dungeoneers, as far as I've gathered, will head towards a monster of equal or higher level, preferably. They'll take usually the most direct route. They can be diverted by higher level monsters, but they are I'm busy explaining, Ariane. Go take a picture of the rat. Oh wait, you won't take any pictures, will you? But they are diverted more by loot, which are the hope cards. These are like peril cards, these are exploring cards, and then there are hope cards, which have treasure. They'll head to treasure over monsters. The higher the value of the treasure, the more they'll go for it. You can use that to sort of steer a Dungeoneer the way you want to go, because you can't actually directly tell them to go anywhere. Without that, let's end the turn. Oh god, not a nasty rat! You can do it, Ariane! Ariane is not confident. Yeah, the Decay ability means that by taking 2 damage in 1 turn causes an extra 1 point of damage. There will be monsters who will have that ability. There's a new icon here though, which is unblockable, which means there's no point in trying to block this piece of damage because my cower card won't work. Let's use Eyes Closed Punch. Aha! Fortunately, we'll get the, nasty rats tend to have a lot of bite cards. We also have the same number of hit points, so I hope we get a card. Aha! Yes, Nature 2 here means Neurotoxin. This basically is, if this blow manages to deal damage, I discard a card. Fortunately, we have a block. So that does not work. Still not looking hopeful, but now the Twig comes into play, the Mighty Twig. For we have Bash, which will block that damage and deal damage back. Ha-ha! We have the advantage. And in fact, we've won with this lucky hit. Kapow! Victory! And we level, gaining a hit point, and the choice of a cup of tea, which will give us the first magic damage, a straitjacket, which will provide us with +1 health, or a paper crown. We're going to pick the straitjacket for this tutorial level, purely for the hit points and the increased chance of survival. Squeak, 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 says that enigmatic villain. Who could it be? We'll find out next time. For now, let's finish the tutorial mission. Do not worry, Ariane, you're practically a veteran at this. Always looks worried. By the way, the music in this game is brilliant, I think. It definitely provides that sort of heroic mood of dungeon exploring. So let us defeat this rat. We have a cower ability that we will use here, probably by mistake. No, actually, because we have bash here, which is handy. Aha! The combat, once you get the hang of it's pretty fast. One lucky hit. Aha! You can disable these animations if you want, but I personally think they're quite nice, so we'll keep them. At this rate, we're going to win this fight, sheerly through merit of having enough eyes closed punch cards. Victory! Ariane did not die. If I'd have died in the tutorial, that would have been something.
Well, this is really just quite surprising. Aren't Dungeoneers just cannon fodder? But against all odds, they keep surviving. They're so dumb. Why even bother?
Victory! And you'll notice that the achievements now work. I don't think the achievements worked before. But that was the tutorial. In the next video, we shall go into the first proper mission. Get our first proper Dungeoneer. Well, better than Ariane, because Ariane has, being by liberty of having the chump Dungeoneer profession, the worst card selection in the game. And then we'll probably lose a Dungeoneer to death, because the Dungeoneers have a finite lifespan in this game. So, I'll catch you next time, and I'll see you then. Later. I wonder if... Look, I'm about to end the video, okay? Is that satisfactory? Thank you, Ariane. Later.